Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all attending today's webinar with Vertical Cable. Today's hosts are Hugo Arroyo, he is their Client Relationship Manager, and Francis Chang, he is the Director of Sales, and they will both be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, as you know, please submit them in the question box so that Francis and Hugo can answer them at the end of today's presentation. Francis, Hugo, thank you guys so much for joining Microcom today. We're looking forward to your presentation. Please go ahead and take it on over.
This is Francis speaking. Thank you, Judy, for having us over in this webinar. It's really a great honor, and I want to give a special, thank you to Hugo who take on this, presentation in a very short notice. Hugo is our new client account manager. He came with many years of specialty fiber, background. And without any further ado, Hugo, can you take it away?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Francis, Julie, for the introduction. Team, I appreciate you guys jumping on this morning. Again, my name is Hugo with Vertical Cable, primarily a client account specialist, but I'm a jack of all trades per se. I'm here to help you guys with any sort of fiber questions that you guys may have. So without further ado, let's get into the presentation. So first things first, wanted to just point out that VC Vertical Cable is celebrating over 35 years of in working in the industry. In those 35 years, we now have established 4 distribution centers throughout the US, so we can cover the vast majority of the United States fairly quickly. Each location has stock of our products, so we can quickly get to your customers fairly quickly within depending on the territorial location. So what do you get with us? You get real-time inventory, same-day shipping. We try to ship out everything out the same day. Freight programs. Again, we also have a manufacturing plant out of Texas for some bulk cable. And then you get our team of experts here. We do not charge for support, sales supports, whether it's pre-sale support or post-sale support. Again, so we're here to help you. This is a team effort, so anything we can do, please feel free to reach out. Now, with VC, you also get a warranty program. All of our products by default carry a 1-year warranty, 15 years for the category cable. We do offer what's considered a cabling system warranty of 25 years. That protects the cabling system from end to end for your customers using the VC products, the jacks, the connectivities, and everything in between. And also a lifetime warranty for a lot of our connectivity products. So our product, we back our products. We don't just sell them off and forget about it. So there is a full warranty associated with these products. Now with VC, you're probably familiar with us from the category cable, category 5E, 6, 6A, and everything in between, the jacks, the panels. We also, as I mentioned, we do offer manufacturing here in the domestic in Texas. So for those that are concerned maybe with the tariffs that are in place, or for projects where there are TA compliances, we do offer product made here in Texas. Now, as I said, you probably knew us from the category cable, but did you know that we also do offer other lines of products for various vertical markets? We do offer a broad selection of audio cable, plenum, riser rated, direct burial. Direct burial means it's meant to go in the ground. We also fire alarm wires. This plenum rated, various colors and gauges. We also do offer security cable, coaxial cable. So again, multiple vertical markets, and now specialty cables, lighting, access controls. So again, we offer a big breadth of product, a broad product portfolio for any specific applications or opportunities that you guys may have. So again, very broad, many things, many SKUs. So please feel free to reach out for any of those opportunities. Now, we do offer now fiber, bulk cable, patch cords, assemblies, enclosures, panels, and a lot more. Connectors, pigtails, splices, tools, cleaning equipment. So our breadth of products with fiber is vast. So again, a few things that we want to touch on. So for example, fiber cable. There are primarily three applications that we carry. Direct burial, as you can see, is cable that actually goes in the ground. They dig a trench, they lay the cable in, they cover the trench. That is direct burial cable. You have also cable that's indoor outdoor, cable that can go both outside and inside. This is different than direct burial. Then you have aerial cable, aerial lashings. That's meant to go from pole to pole. So again, depending on the application that you guys are using or require fiber cable, we have a wide variety. So we also offer multiple fiber counts, both in single mode and multi-mode, OM1, 3, and 4. So again, anything in between, we have you guys covered. Now, let's take in consideration a real world experience or application. Let's assume your customer has a computer room on the first floor. If we come in with outside plant cable, well, guess what? National code requires that outside plant cable be terminated within the first 50 feet of coming inside the wall. Why? Outside plant cable is not fire rated. So I can't use outside plant cable inside. So what do? I have to put a transition, a box to terminate that outside plant cable indoor. Now I can take that cable and put it on the rack. Now, let's assume your customer does not have the computer room on the first floor. It's on the second floor. Well, usually that second floor is well beyond the 50 feet. I got to continue maintaining that 50 feet. What do I do in that case? Well, again, VC has you covered. What we would do is put what's considered inside indoor outdoor cable. Now, because it's indoor outdoor cable, it's not direct burial, it has to go in a conduit. So again, if it's outside plant cable, it's not conduit dependent. You don't need a conduit. If it's indoor outdoor, you do need a conduit. But there's a trade-off. Now with indoor outdoor cable, I can take it beyond the 50-foot mark and I can take it to the second floor. Now I just need to put a box in there on that in the rack. I am done. So again, the way to circumvent around the outside plant cable is using indoor outdoor cable. Why? Outside plant cable is not fire rated. It's not plenum, it's not riser. It's meant for outdoor application use only. With indoor outdoor, it's both riser and plenum, and it is fire rated. Okay. Now, we offer multiple variations of enclosures and panels, many. Now, one thing to consider, there are different footprints when you start dealing with fiber enclosures. You have your traditional LGX panels, and you have traditional keystones. Same keystones that you would use for your copper connections, except now this is dedicated for fiber. LGX, which is a very popular footprint. Multiple manufacturers make multiple footprints of adapter panels. We use what's considered LGX. Very universal, similar to Keystone. Very universal. So anyone's box should fit anyone's panel and vice versa. Now, here's a thing, and many of us get this question when we start dealing with fiber. Customer calls and says, hey, I need a 24 port patch panel for fiber. Well, what is a port in fiber? Is one strand of fiber a port, or is it two strands of fiber per port? If you look at it and compare it to, say, let's say an RJ45 port, If you look at an RJ45 port, there are 8 contacts in there. Are each one of those contacts a port? No. Those 8 contacts make one port. So I want you to start thinking of fiber in terms of 2 strands. Why do you need 2 strands of fiber? Transmit to receive, receive to transmit. You open a web browser, you type in a domain address, you hit enter, you get that domain entrance, that domain back. Transmit to receive, receive to transmit. That's how you complete a fiber circuit. So you take into account you need 2 strands of fiber. Now there are ways around that, but for the sake of this conversation, we're just sticking with the 2 strands. So what I want you to do is start thinking in terms of positions. Not only positions, but you also want to start thinking in terms of fiber counts. Here's the reason, here's a perfect example. We have 2 LGX adapter plates here. Both have 6 positions, 6 adapters, but the capacity of fiber is different. First one, you have 12 fibers. The bottom one, you have 24 fibers. So again, if you start thinking in terms of, hey, how many fibers do I need to complete this enclosure or this patch panel, that will tell you what type of adapter you're going to need. So in this example, you have two plates, both are 6 position, but the one on the top is a 12 fiber, the one at the bottom is a 24 fiber. Okay, so start thinking in that terms. So let's put it into application. We have an LGX panel here. LGX panel typically are 3 openings in a 1U rack space. Now, customer says, hey, I need a 24 port panel. Well, all we need to do is put one adapter. We've accomplished that. Now we have a patch panel that has 24 fibers, 1 panel and 1 adapter. Now, this is perfectly fine the way it is, but as you can see, there are 3 openings there. Now, aesthetically, that doesn't look pretty nice. What we want to do is maybe cover those up. So you want to also include some blank covers. So now we've provided the customer with a solution, 24 port panel in a 1U, and also he has room for growth because he has 2 open slots available to him for future expansions. Now, again, depending on the capacity, we've replaced that fiber, that 24 port panel, adapter panel, with 3 12s. Now that same panel can accommodate 36 fibers in a 1U. So again, it's very flexible. This solution makes fiber installation and fiber deployment very, very flexible. Okay. Technically, in a 1 rack space, we can get up to 72 fiber strands in a 1U. Again, 72 fibers. Depending on the type of connector we use will dictate how many fibers we can put into a certain rack space. Here's the deal with fiber, and it's all about real estate now. We want to get the most amount of fiber strands in a 1U rack space. So again, 72 fibers is pretty standard, pretty traditional for fiber deployment, fiber installations. Now, with VC, we offer multiple connector options. LCs, SCs, STs, even SCs, some of the legacy connectors in various fiber types, whether it's OM1, OM3, or OM4. Each one is very specific. Each color represents the notes what is behind that connector. So it's very important that we match up the fiber to the adapter. Now, the only reason we're doing that is for fiber identification. Now, as I said, we offer many solutions, many types. So what are some of the questions we want to start asking our customers as we start dealing with fiber adapters? Well, first things first is we want to know how many fibers. Now I'm presenting these questions to you, but it's not necessarily you need to ask the questions in these specific orders. But these are very important information that or details we want to know. I attribute this as someone walking into a car dealership and telling the car sales guy, "Hey, I want a car." Car salesman is going to say, "Well, okay, great, that's awesome. You want a car, but what kind of car do you want? You want a sedan? You want an SUV? You want a pickup? What do you want?" So these are the questions that these are the questions we want to know. So the first things first is how many fibers do we need? The next, we want to know what kind of connector do we use? Again, we have SC, LC, ST, FC. So there's various multiple options here. Then we also want to know, okay, what kind of fiber are you using? Is it multi-mode or is it single mode? If it's multi-mode, what type of multi-mode? Now, I note here 3, but there are other options. These 3 are probably 90% of what you are going to encounter on a day-to-day basis. OM1, which is a legacy fiber type, but the deployment of OM1 is vast. OM3, OM4. These 3 will make up, like I said, 90% of your day-to-day requests or callouts. Then you have the polished type, UPC or APC on the single mode side. It's very important that we know this. We do not want to mate an APC with a UPC. And for those, APC means angle polish connector. That connector is actually the connector that plugs into the back end of this is polished on an angle. And there are specific reasons for that. But anyway, we want to make sure. So we don't want to mate those 2 connectors together. This will denote what type of adapter we're going to need. So let's put this in perspective. Let's say a customer says, "Hey, I need a 12 fiber SC single mode UPC." Well, out of all those various combinations, what we are looking at is this one right here. 12 fibers, Sam Charlie, single mode UPC. Now, these are, again, as I mentioned before the slide, these are LGX adapter plates. I also want to note the slang term for these that you may encounter are bulkheads. If the customer says, "Hey, I need a bulkhead," this is what they're referring to. Okay. Now, I also want to mention, like I said, with these LGX panels, we offer multiple options to mount these into. We offer rack mounts. Now, these rack mounts can be a 1U, a 2U, and a 4U with various amounts of adapters that you can hold. In a 1U, it's 3. In a 2U, 6, and a 4U, you can get up to 12 adapter plates. So again, you can go from anywhere from literally 6 fibers all the way to like 288 fibers on a fiber rack, on a rack mount fiber. We also offer wall mounts for those applications. Various wall mounts, whether you want some with a lock and key or just a standard one for a telecommunication closet. So again, if the lock and key is where if they're going to be installed in a place where you may not have adequate security. Maybe it's behind in a closet somewhere where the rooms and the mops are located. You don't want anyone messing with this, so you can actually lock it. We also have DIN rail applications for those people that are dealing with in the industrial environment. We have DIN rail solutions. This is a 35 millimeter DIN rail, and there's again multiple options to these. And we have the outdoor solutions, IP rated solutions. So again, next on a pole, next to the side of a building, anywhere. Again, this is where you would transition, as my previous slide, from an outdoor to an indoor application. This is what a box you would typically see on the side of a building. So again, we have you covered whether it's from the rack to the wall to outdoor or in an industrial application. with the industrial application, not only do we have the boxes, but we also have all the ancillary products that go along with these applications. Uh, Splice trays, adapters, pigtails, everything that you would need to do in fiber deployment, we do carry that. Well, with that, I open the floor, Julie, to any questions that you guys may have. And again, I appreciate your time for this.
Thank you very much, Hugo and Francis as well. That was a wonderful presentation. And I do have some questions for you from the
Sure.
audience. If you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and read the first one
Please.
and give you an opportunity to answer.
Great. Perfect. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, here we go. First question. How do you handle heat dissipation in high power PoE devices?
Oh, okay. Well, not really with this one, but yes. So depending on where you do what you're doing with, you have enclosures itself that have temperature controlled little fans in there that you can dissipate the heat that way. Again, you want to have the right tool for the job. So if you are deploying PoE in an environment that's hostile environment, you want to make sure that the equipment that you're installing is adequate for that environment. For example, in a commercial, instead of using a commercial PoE switch, you would use something like a little bit more robust, like an industrial PoE switch that can handle the heat output of that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Couple more questions. Here's the next one. Can the switches integrate with existing network management systems?
Um, uh, well, Julie, may I ask, because again, this
Huh?
presentation really didn't touch on switches, but I can definitely answer that. What was the question again?
Sure, it says, can the switches integrate with existing network management systems?
Yeah, depending on what type of layer switch that you're using, you can definitely use multiple switches. Again, it all depends on the operating and the management suite.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Next question here. Does the LGX line support multi-gigabit?
Um, yes, so the LGX adapters, if you are using something like an OM3 fiber, it will support 1040 gigs. Again, the adapters is just a mating mechanism. It really has very little to do other than identifying what the circuit is. But yes, they're able to handle anything between 1 gig, 40 gig, 100 gigs.
Thank you very much for that. Next question here for you. Are there redundant power supply options for LGX switches?
Um, Redundant power supplies for LGX switches. Um, so these are not active devices. These are passive devices. Um, so there isn't any redundancy here. The redundancy would be done at the layer 2 device, at the switches. Again, these are all passive devices. This is just a patch panel that you would use. Instead of copper, we were using this for fiber optics. Now, as far as fiber, there is something that we all want to do and plan for it. Part of the redundancy is multiple path. So instead of a straight line or a home run A to B, and if you got a C, you may want to go A, B, C, and then A to C. So there's multiple path in case of a failure or a break in the fiber.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question here. What future enhancements or models are planned for the company and the products?
There are multiple plans on the table. some of it with new products. We actually have a full line now, not a full line, but we are introducing lines of industrial switches for industrial applications or harsh applications. Some of them are IP rated. There are multiple things on the table. Francis can answer more to that as far as the trajectory that as far as some of the product offerings.
Excellent. And then in future webinars, we can touch on that. Meanwhile, last question here for you. Can you tell us if is it the best place to go to your website and find not only technical information but technical support?
So yes, website is the best place to find information as far as not only what we've discussed today, but other vertical market products that for certain vertical markets, such as the landscape lighting and audio. So the website is the best. Your account manager, Francis, his contact information is on the website. He would be also your point of contact. And again, also, I will share my contact information with Julie. If there's anything else, I'm also a resource that you can use. But yes, the website would be your starting point. If you don't see it, feel free to reach out to one of us.
Yes, feel free to send us an email. My email address is fchen@verticalcable.com, and shoot us any question, any request for call, and we will make sure we get an answer back to you ASAP.
And let me add to this also, if you do not see something on the website, that doesn't necessarily mean we do not have it. So I would say throw it over the fence and let us work on it, and you'll be surprised.
Exactly.
Excellent. Thank you both, Francis and Hugo, so much for answering all of those questions for us today. And of course, like I said, if any further questions, you can start by contacting your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned and shown here today, please remember that this webinar presentation has been recorded and it will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so we can all view it again. You guys, thank you so much for taking the time to share with us today. Greatly appreciate it. Everybody have a fantastic day.
Likewise.
Thank you.
So
You as
much.
well.
Thank you, team.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.